Back in Ottawa, starting goalies are brought to you by Scotiabank. You're richer than you think. 29-year-old Josh Harding got pulled last night after allowing 3 goals on 19 shots against Montreal. Likely to keep him fresh for the back-to-back tonight. Meanwhile, 32-year-old Craig Anderson allowed 4 goals on 22 shots in his last start, a loss against Columbus. Ray Ferraro, 2 teams trying to bounce back from difficult losses last night. Not an easy task.
Well, no, it's not, but it's kind of the nice scenario to have. If you're a team, you've laid an egg, you don't want to sit on it for 3 or 4 days in practice and try and have the coach fix things in practice. You want a chance to get back out there and get things done again. Jason Spezza has been pointless in 5 of his last 6 games. Had a goal and an assist in the other one, and there's the workhorse, Ryan Suter. Leads the National Hockey League in ice time. Just a remarkable season, along with his partner, young Jonas Brodin, who really came onto the scene last year as a rookie in Minnesota.
Ryan Suter leads all players in total minutes played, 30 minutes more than any other NHL player. Charlie Coyle with a steal, and the rebound goes in front to Zach Parise, who just missed on an early chance for Minnesota. Ottawa's fallen behind 2-0 11 times already this year.
Only scored the first goal 6 times, Gordon. They've chased almost every game this year.
That long shot from Mark Methot got blocked. And Charlie Coyle skated by the puck. Now moved ahead to Parise along with Coyle. And Zach Parise's long shot gets an even longer rebound, and Parise has that dribble down, and Anderson plays that away. Big wide pass for Kyle Turris, who had quite an adventure last night in Philadelphia. Scored a goal, had one disallowed, missed an open net, got stopped at a penalty shot.
Took a penalty as well. Busy night for him.
And now Harding shoots it across to Marco Scandella, who had an expensive night in Montreal last night. Almost 2 dozen tickets he bought.
Oh, Matt Cook's on the ice.
Either him or Heatley. It's really hard to tell tonight who will get it worse, but probably Matt Cook, whose incident with Erik Karlsson last year is fresher in the minds of Ottawa fans. Niederreiter pokes that ahead for Kyle Brodziak. And Nino Niederreiter taps it off the boards, but it's scooped up by Chris Neal. His pass goes off a skate, and now Cook back with it. Cook last year colliding with Ottawa star defenseman Erik Karlsson, who suffered a severed Achilles tendon. And there are some in Ottawa who believe that injury was deliberately caused by Cook.
I think that's an impossibility. I don't see how you would possibly ever be able to aim your skate like that.
There's Spezza across the line, a long shot, threw it by Harding. And looking for the rebound was Colin Greening. At the line, held by Borowiecki, and Chris Phillips with a shot that goes off a skate and bounces back out to center ice. Jason Zucker, number 16, is on the ice for Minnesota, called up after the loss last night.
Oh, and here comes Heatley.
Yeah, there you go. So 2 for the price of 1 tonight. Fans can empty their lungs at both Matt Cook and Danny Heatley.
Interesting note here for Ottawa. Colin Greening was on the left side with Jason Spezza and Milan Michalek. That has been Corey Conacher's spot. Nothing much getting done for Conacher, so they try the bigger body in Greening, who does not have a goal this year.
Eric Bondra across he goes. A long shot taken by Derek Grant, and Josh Harding has that.
Gordon, when we were talking to Paul McLean before the game, the one thing he stressed is we have to manage the puck way better in our zone. This is the first shift of the game. 10 seconds in, the puck jumps over Kyle Turris' stick. There's a dangerous chance. Lots of people have talked about the change in Matt Cook. Matt Cook attacks Chris Neal on the boards, and instead of running into him, getting his stick up, he plays his stick on the ice, deflects the puck away. Same play, effective, yet there's no contact for Cook, who has really reformed himself from an embarrassing suspension a couple of seasons ago.
Long shot by Zibanejad. Now Jared Kell with a long shot through the traffic. Harding saw that at the last moment. And Fontaine ahead to Heatley. Danny Heatley now playing on the 4th line for Minnesota. Did score last night with a couple of seconds to go in that lopsided loss to the Canadiens.
There's a great exit right there.
Up ahead he goes, and chipped ahead by Clark MacArthur. Long shot handled by Harding, and he takes the rebound away in the drive from Turris. Tonight's game plan is brought to you by Tim Hortons, official coffee of the NHL.
The Wild's worst performance of the year was last night. They gave up a 6th spot. They haven't done that yet. They need a short case of amnesia, get themselves back to the way they've played for the majority of this season. And for the Senators, we've already seen one example, a turnover in their defensive zone. They've really struggled managing the puck in their zone, making clean exits out of their zone. And Paul McLean was telling us, as a result of turning it over, they're spending way too much time in their zone. Eventually they take a penalty. They can't kill penalties of late, 4 power play goals against in the last couple of games as well.
Corey Conacher wins that draw. Head gets a shot on goal on Harding. And we'll have another face-off in the Minnesota zone. The Wild, the number 2 face-off team in the league.
Corey Conacher gets that shot, Gord, as you mentioned, and Conacher has had this opportunity alongside of Jason Spezza on the Senators' first line, yet he's got 2 goals in the first 20 games, so he's flip-flopped with Greening. Greening doesn't have any goals, as they're looking for a little balance in their line, and maybe Conacher, playing on a line with Smith and Neal, can benefit from their physical presence.
Spezza wins that draw, back to Mathon, who throws it down in the corner, and Jared Spurgeon on it for Minnesota. Looks for Nino Niederreiter, the former first-round pick of the New York Islanders, who languished in New York almost literally last year. Did not get a call-up when the lockout ended. Spent the entire season in Binghamton of the American Hockey League.
Arrow, there's Exhibit A of how not to handle a young player. It was the case of Niederreiter, who many felt was too good to go back to junior. So he scored 1 goal in 55 games as an 18-year-old for the Islanders. I mean, he never played. He never got on the ice. Last year, he spends a year in the American League. He's disgruntled, and they make a deal for him here in Minnesota. He's got tremendous upside, and they traded him for a real physical guy in Cal Clutterbuck, who doesn't have near the upside that Niederreiter would.
Racing back is Marco Scandella away from Milan McCulloch. Now turn over to Spezza. Jason Spezza in, stopped by Harding. And on the rebound, Harding turns him away again. And Brodziak shovels that out for Minnesota to Niederreiter, who finished the year on a high, leading Switzerland in scoring as the Swiss won a silver medal at the World Championship.
A good start to the game for Jason Spezza. We talked about that he doesn't have any points in 5 of his last 6 games. You see him kick the boards in a little frustration. Turnover here, and then Spezza quickly into the scoring zone, and that's a real nice save by Josh Harding. This is his first shift, strongly to the middle of the ice, and he leans heavy on his stick so Zucker can't lift the stick away from him and check the puck. Spezza's had a nice start here in the first 4 minutes or so.
Ottawa, by the way, wearing its 3rd uniforms tonight. The uniforms the Sens will wear when they play, we'll call it an indoor-outdoor game in Vancouver in March. Part of the NHL Stadium Series at BC Place. Could be an outdoor game unless it rains.
March. I think they're going to have the roof open. I feel it.
You know. Phillips turns it over to Parise, ahead to Mikko Koivu. Koivu to Coyle to Parise, a backhand shot, and Craig Anderson's got that. Want to call him Parise or Parise? Even his own family can't decide. His mom says Parise. She's American. His father, of course, J.P. Parise, played a long time in the NHL, played the Summit Series in '72. He says Parise, so he says you pick.
He's not too worried about it, I guess, although there was a directive sent out that it was supposed to be Parise this year. We talked to him 2 hours ago. He really didn't seem to have too much concern, but he said, I'll probably lean on Mom's pronunciation for him.
I'll call him Parise in Canada and Parise in the States. Split the difference. How's that sound?
Type of player he is. They're going to be calling him a lot. There's an Olympic player. He's good, you know, kind of the heartbeat along with Mikko Koivu of this team.
Got the Wierkosh back for it. Conacher, nifty pass ahead to Chris Neal. And the Sens are out. Zach Smith, rink wide he goes. Jared Cowan needs to rush, shovels up to the side of the goal, takes a hit. The puck loose at the side of the goal, and Neal got one chance. Now turned over, and Zucker's back for the Wild to Clayton Stoner. And Zucker comes streaking in on Smith, picks up the loose puck, and plays it across to Michael Granlund. Now a turnover to the side of the goal. 2 chances there for Zucker. Turned away by Anderson, and a penalty coming now to Ottawa. It'll be interference against the Senators, sending Minnesota to an early power play. And Jared Cowan is the man who will go off.
Well, the game plan is to avoid turnovers in the defensive zone. Yikes. Zach Smith hands it right to Zucker at the side of the net. Paul McLean was just shaking his head on the Senators bench as he saw the replay of that turnover. So the Senators have given up 4 shorthanded goals in the last 2 games, 3 of them on Sunday to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Commit the game's first penalty.
Ray, Ottawa's allowed 17 power play goals so far this year. Last season when the Sens were the #1 penalty killing team in the league, they allowed 20 in 48 games. And here's Suter with it. Ryan Suter plays that across to Parise. Pominville fans on the shot, and he's got trouble now as in comes MacArthur. Clark MacArthur between the legs and turns, scores! What a pass by Clark MacArthur between the legs. It's a short-handed goal for Ottawa.
Some people might say that this is why you don't have 4 forwards on the power play. Doesn't matter if that's a defenseman back there or not. Parise's pass takes a basketball hop on Jason Pominville. He's got control of it. Watch this puck. It bounces way up onto his shin pad. And then an unbelievable pass here from Clark MacArthur. Kyle Turris, his wrist shot squeaks through Josh Harding for a shorthanded goal and a 1-0 lead. What a play by Clark MacArthur. They're still laughing about it on the Senators bench.
First career shorthanded goal for Turris, and now Parise with a chance. And the first shorthanded goal allowed by Minnesota since January of 2012. 107 games since they've allowed one.
Well, you're looking for a lift on your bench. Not only is it a shorthanded goal, it's a spectacular one at that.
Who does that in that situation? Who thinks of that?
That's somebody that's pretty confident right now, and he's not always been confident this season, but MacArthur started to play real well.
Now Coyle to Koivu. And Mikko Koivu spins off Mathon, plays it down to Parise. Suter across the top with it. Back to Koivu. Being harassed there by Condra. Crowd backing him out. Parise sends it across. Pominville scores! Jason Pominville power play goal, and the game is tied at 1.
The way the Senators kill, they get out in a diamond here against the Wild power play. And what that does is that leaves a lot of space down by the goal line here for Parise. Look at that gap of room. You cannot allow that much room for Zach Parise down on the goal line. He finds Pominville. Pominville puts it away. Now Carlson's stuck halfway between. That pass cannot get from Parise across to Pominville through both Carlson here and Derek Smith there. That puck has to be denied. It's not. And the shorthanded goal and the power play goal cancel out.
And Pominville remains red hot. 9 goals in his last 12 games. Graham with a long shot. And the rebound given up by Anderson, but cleared away by Barbieski. So an action-packed first power play of the game. And it's 1-1. 7.5 minutes in. Pollock out there along with Greening and Spezza. And Fontaine with the loose puck throws it back to center ice. And Chris Phillips is back for it. Phillips missed a game this year, the 4th he's missed in the last 6 seasons. Rodziak fires it down for Minnesota, and Phillips is back for it. Throws that by everyone. Another turnover, but this time Matt Dumba, who's back in the lineup for Minnesota, couldn't handle it.
They're not very careful with the puck board.
Now, Cook, a thump down by Conacher, and Matt Cook slow to get to his feet. And now Cook has his eyes on Conacher. Here he comes. And he collides with Chris Neal instead. Now Cook and Conacher are jousting in front of the benches.
Wow, he was heated after that hit, and if Neal wouldn't have been in the way, the target was definitely Conacher.
Didn't have Conacher in the get even with Matt Cook pool. And now Cook in front of the Minnesota bench turns it over, and play is called at the Wild line. So Matt Cook always a target now against Ottawa, and Corey Conacher gets him flying.
Watch the shorthanded goal again. The Wild are in a 2-on-2 position till Pominville gets beat on the outside by MacArthur. Don't forget, Pominville had to turn and get in a foot race. MacArthur gets ahead and makes that pass That forces Suter to come across the ice and turn it into a true 2-on-1. Koivu can't get back to Turris, and the Wild trail. Just the 7th time this year that Ottawa scored the game's first goal.
Wiercioch throws that long pass that misses Smith, and that'll be icing called against Ottawa.
When Sergei Gonchar was traded to Dallas in the offseason, it opened up some room for Patrick Wiercioch. They signed Wiercioch to a 3-year extension to his contract coming out of his entry-level deal, and it's been a little bit of a rocky road for Wiercioch this year. He's got 6 assists on the season. His 5-on-5 defensive play is where he has to work on to be a little bit more firm and a little stronger on it. But he's been scratched the last 3 games. He gets an opportunity with Eric Gryba scratched tonight.
Wiercioch tangles there with Granlund, and back in the corner, Matt Dumba is down, and the puck was played with a high stick.
Well, Dumba, one of those underage players that they had to make their decision at 10 games. Was he going to play game 10, or was he going to go back to the Red Deer Rebels of the Western Hockey League? They kept Dumba. Now the next benchmark, of course, comes game 40 for Coach Mike Yeo and the Minnesota Wild.
Right, so once you play the 10th game, the first year of your contract kicks in. Once you're on the roster for 40, that's a season in the NHL. That has to do with arbitration, free agency, everything else. So the 10 gets all the attention, but the 40 is significant as well. And of course, Dumba could still be sent to play for Team Canada at the World Junior Championship. MacArthur got held up there by Jonas Brodin. That allowed Ryan Suter to pick up a loose puck. And Suter makes his way in. Suter's been over 30 minutes now in the last 10 times this season, and the last 4 overall. That long shot goes wide from Brodin. Imagine this. Only 91 times the guy had 30 minutes in the last 3 years. He's had 20 of the 91.
He's able to play forever.
And Carlson, another minute muncher, who's been over 30 minutes the last 3 games, flips it down for Ottawa. The 5 highest ice time totals this season belong to Suter, who's got the top 3, and Carlson, who's got the next 2. And we're past the midway point of the opening period in a 1-1 game. McCulloch battling for it. The puck squirts free, and Scandella plays that for Suter. And Cook chips it back down in the Ottawa zone. Borowiecki ahead to Spezza, along with McCulloch. And Phillips jumping in. Spezza, long shot. Harding got an arm on that. And Spezza chips that back in front. Bronziak plays it out for Minnesota. Chris Phillips with Ottawa making a change. Backhands that down to the Minnesota zone. Scandella goes back, but that'll be icing called against Ottawa, and the Sens will not be able to complete the change.
Minnesota comes out with their 4th line, however, on the draw here, so Ottawa's in decent shape here. They still have Spezza on the ice, who is lingering on after a change.
And that 4th line center, Zdeno Konopka, incredibly has the best face-off percentage in the league over the last 3 years. For a guy who normally does things with his gloves off, he's a terrific face-off guy. Stoner across to Dumba. And now Ottawa completes the change as Stoner turns that puck over to Zibanejad. To Condra. And Condra's shot juggled. Zibanejad with a chance. Harding down. They score!
What an effort.
Zibanejad pokes it home, and it's 2-1 Ottawa.
What an effort by Zibanejad. He's down on his hands and knees. He's been knocked to the ice. Josh Harding can't catch the puck for about the 3rd time in this first period. It falls at his feet. And Zibanejad is going to be there to hook it into the net. This shot has to be caught here by Harding. He deflects it out into the slot. Look at Zibanejad onto his back. He rolls over onto his side. Stopped once, the rebound's there, and he reaches across, beats Matthew Dumba to the puck. And Ottawa has 2 goals in the first period. Zibanejad's effort matches the effort by MacArthur. They got 2 beauties, and they lead 2-1.
5th of the year for Zibanejad, who's been struggling of late He had 1 goal in his last 8 coming in. His ice time was dropping. And now he's got the go-ahead goal for the Sens. Zucker for Pominville trying to jump around Weirkosh. And Cowan wraps it around for Conacher. Corey Conacher for Chris Neal, who played his 800th NHL game last night in Philadelphia. That was knocked away from him, and Pominville snaps that rink wide for Zucker. He and Conacher collide, and Mathot picks up the loose puck for Carlson. Up through the middle for Turris. In comes Kyle Turris with a chance, shoots, and whistles that up and over the glass. Mika Zibanejad has the go-ahead goal as the Ottawa Senators have the lead 2-1 in the first period of Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey.
You hear coaches talk about active legs and keeping yourself moving. That's Zibanejad who intercepts the pass from Stoner to Heatley. And then he doesn't stand there. He gets all the way to the front of the net, gets 2 opportunities at the puck. The second one leads to the 2-1 goal. A real good skater, a player that got spanked in training camp a little bit, sent to the minors because he was outworked by a couple of players. He's come back and now has 5 goals since his recall. That one mostly about hard work.
And Josh Harding has had such a great start to the season, has allowed 6 goals in his last 45 minutes of hockey, and there's quite with a chance, taps that wide. Harding is unbeaten at home this year, 10-0 on home ice for the Wild. Because last year his season limited after being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis a year and a half ago. The medication wasn't working properly for him. He could barely play. MacArthur with it. Puck rolled away from him. Parise across for Suter. Ahead to Charlie Coyle.
The Minnesota Wild had given up 18 goals, 5-on-5 on the season before last night. They gave up 4 last night. They've given up another one tonight.
In comes McCulloch leaping in. Scandella strips him of the puck, and now Spezza looks around as Borowiecki steps up for Ottawa. Here's McCulloch with it. Greening snaps it to Spezza. Back he goes to Phillips and hopped over his stick and back out to center ice. Ottawa Senators with a quick correction for me, Ray. These are not the uniforms they'll wear in Vancouver. They will unveil the special Heritage Game uniforms later in the season. So this is their 3rd, then they'll unveil their 4th. In comes Condra across the line. Drops it off to Spezza. Jason Spezza waiting for help to arrive. Weirkosh got an off-speed shot that bounces down in front. That broke Weirkosh's stick and almost worked to his advantage. And Stoner works ahead with Cook. And as Carlson goes back, that'll be icing against Minnesota. The NHL on TSN is brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Shots on goal are 13-6 Ottawa. Minnesota #1 in the league in shots on goal against. The average is 24 against per game. Now a chance in front. There's Condra with 2 whacks at it. Ottawa might get to that this period. As Dumba brings it ahead. Great wide pass for Stoner, who shovels that down, and now Minnesota can make the change as Anderson plays it for Carlson. To Condra. Looks ahead for Grant, swatted back in by Heatley. And that lead pass for Zibanejad just missed. Last year, Paul McLean said of Zibanejad, his conditioning wasn't good, his attitude wasn't good, and his play wasn't good.
That's kind of the trifecta, isn't it?
Which is the reason he spent most of the year with Binghamton of the American League. But now, he's back and producing with a great goal tonight. Carlson lays that across to Conacher. In he comes with Smith and Neal. Conacher's long shot, pad save made by Harding. In comes Carlson. Wheels that back for Cowan. And down it goes to Smith. Back to Carlson. That shot was blocked by Konopka. And it's all the way back to the Sens zone. Carlson, lead pass for Smith. Just hopped off the heel of his stick, and Harding plays that away. Now Pominville having trouble getting across the line, and that gives Smith some time to fire it back down to the Minnesota zone. Ottawa's won the last 6 meetings between these two teams, including Paul McLean's first win as an NHL head coach. In comes Granlund, snaps it across. Pominville loses it, but for Zucker, he tried to hook that home, and it went just wide. Lots of scoring chances here in the opening period. The shots are 15-6 Ottawa. So the team's reversing their course. Ottawa is the team that allows the most shots on goal per game. And Spezza puts it ahead to McCallum. Takes a whack there from Parise. And Suter being bumped there by Greeny. Now a steal by Spezza. Drops it back to Phillips. Across to Wiercauch. The pass back for Spezza. Knocked away by Brodin. Koivu rink wide for Parise. In comes Zach Parise. Back pass for Koivu. Back down to Parise. Spins off a check. Fires the pass back to Brodin. Across for Suter. Ryan Suter's long shot went just wide as Anderson was screened. And Phillips with time ahead for Bobby Ryan. Up to MacArthur. His pass knocked astray by Koivu. And the play is offside at the Minnesota line. 2-1 Ottawa leads. You're watching Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey.
There haven't been many periods like this for Josh Harding. Stopped 94% of the shots in the first part of the season. His catching glove has let him down tonight. That first shot from the point bounced off his glove. That one squeaked through his glove. And when he can't handle Eric Kondra's long wrist shot from the side, Zibanejad is there to make the rebound count. You see him at the break doing a little stretching, working on his catching glove and his technique. It's been a rough start for Harding, who is back in the net when the initial plan was for him to play last night and Darcy Kemper to play tonight. But when Kemper got pulled as well, or didn't get pulled, gave up 3 goals and 9 shots last night, they went back to Harding here tonight.
Nick Backstrom out after being run over by Toronto's Nazem Kadri last week. There are some those with Minnesota who believe that he might be back, Backstrom that is, as early as late next week. But for Minnesota, Ray, the mindset is interesting. Remember 2 years ago, the Wild had the best record in the league in mid-December. And then Mikko Koivu got hurt, Pierre-Marc Bouchard got hurt, and in the 27 games that Koivu missed, Minnesota won 8 and missed the playoff. And still fresh in the Wild's mind, the idea that, look, you're going to have losses, but only once this year they lost 2 in a row in regulation. They don't want this to become a trend.
Well, I would say the only difference is at that time they just couldn't withstand a loss to any of their players. When Koivu went out, they had nobody to replace him. This time around, they've integrated some young people into their lineup, some real good ones too. And Charlie Coyle, who's playing the right side with Koivu right now. They got Jason Zucker back up from the minors. Michael Granlund's had a real good start to the year. So they're probably better equipped to handle an injury this time around. The place they can't have one with Backstrom out is in goal. They don't have any experience. I guess like a lot of teams, but they don't have any experience behind Backstrom and Harding.
By the way, pretty clear that Koivu will be the captain for the Finnish Olympic team. The question is, which one? Saku gets it on seniority. Mikko captained Finland to a World Championship victory in 2011. Turris, sharp angle shot, knocked away by Harding. And loose now for MacArthur. Clark MacArthur with a highlight reel assist earlier in the period. Now throws it down to Ryan. Bobby Ryan with some time and space. Spins and fans on that shot. And Brodin brings it ahead for Minnesota. Parise off a skate and back down the ice as Minnesota will change. Under 2 to go here in the opening period. Carlson with it. And Erik Karlsson swings it across to McCulloch, a long shot, and Josh Harding watches that right into his glove. One of the most popular shows of all time celebrates its 50th anniversary with an epic all-new special. Don't miss Doctor Who, the Day of the Doctor, Saturday at 2:50 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Space. Not 3, 2:50.
Don't be late. Don't be early.
Now Harding will hang on to that with Spezza looking for the loose puck.
Been quite a story for Josh Harding. You mentioned diagnosed a little over a year ago with multiple sclerosis, and last year was a complete adjustment for him on many different levels. His medication wasn't right. There's a goaltender that he consulted with, a former Boston Bruins draft choice, Jordan Sigalet, who is one of the goaltending coaches in Calgary now. And Sigalet was diagnosed with MS as well, and they talked about different things to expect, about getting your rest, about keeping yourself hydrated and giving yourself the best opportunity to succeed in what's a very demanding position. And it's been a great story for Harding this first quarter of the season.
In comes Brodziak, that shot off the leg of Jared Cowan. And Harding doesn't want anyone's sympathy. He says, evaluate me as a goaltender, not someone who has MS. In comes Wiercok with it. Shovels that back in front. Harding knocks it away, and Spezza picks up the loose puck in the corner. Greening to Cowan. Cross to Wiercok. That shot's blocked by Brodziak. And now Cook with it as Brodziak got a hold of Wiercok's stick. And Cook taps that down to the Ottawa zone into the final minute now of the opening period. Shots are 18-6 in favor of Ottawa.
After a couple early bobbles, Ottawa spent very little time in their zone.
Cowan stepped hard into Pominville, now scooped up by Zucker. Zucker centers it in behind Pominville. Here's Granlund with a chance. Anderson down, and Granlund put it wide. Now Carlson. Stripped by Granlund. The centering pass, though, bounces back in front to Neal. And Chris Neal breaks it away. Long lead pass for Zach Smith. Brodin knocks that to Pominville. Up ahead for Granlund. Final seconds now, the period. Granlund. The thought kind of held him up, and then Neal missed him. And Chris Neal went face first into the boards in front of the Ottawa bench.
And Mathot took the worst part of that collision. He's shaking his left hand here.
Neal's heading to the Ottawa dressing room a little early. So the Ottawa Senators, coming off a tough loss last night in Philadelphia, have a 2-1 lead after the opening 20 minutes. We say to James Duthie, the panel, and the first intermission.
Zibanejad's had a little bit of up and down stuff in his early part of his career. There was so much expected from him when he came to the Ottawa Senators, but there's some growing pains to a youngster. Dave Cameron talked to him a lot during the first period on the bench. Wanted him to keep his feet moving, wants him to get to the net. Well, hey, it works out pretty well here. This is a terrific effort by Zibanejad. And then after he gets back to the bench, there's Cameron again, giving him a little positive reinforcement. But what's interesting is at the end of the period, now it's Zibanejad going to Cameron, asking him a few questions about jumping on the forecheck, about getting involved in the play. And it's an ongoing process with a young player. Just when you think you have it, something else pops up.
You know what's awesome about that, Ray, is finally a linesman got to bug you on the ice.
I was always so good to those
drove
guys.
them crazy. There are linesmen in the league who still don't like you, and you retired 10 years ago.
There are some, when I walk by them, there's still an uncomfortable silence.
That was great. A long time coming, but it was well worth the wait.
Well, go figure there, as you know, with my Italian heritage, it was another gentleman of Italian heritage, Tony Serracolo, that was talking to me too. The West guys sometimes don't know when to zip it.
Now a chance for Turris. That's stopped by Harding. By the way, the 18 shots allowed by the Wild in the opening period, the most they've given up in a period this season. There's an icing call against the Wild.
It's been the Senators that have given up piles of shots through the early portion of the season. Nobody gives up more chances on their own net than the Senators. And Mike Yeo told us he expected his team to bounce back tonight, to play a real sound game. And they haven't had many blips in their early part of their season, certainly in the last 13 games. There's general manager Chuck Fletcher, and they're interested to see how they handle a little bit of adversity here in game 2 of a 4-game trip.
Wow, they're very young at some key positions. When you look at Zucker, Coyle, and the likes, that long shot is gloved by Harding. Granlund's 21, Coyle's 21, Zucker's 21.
It's one thing to have young guys in your lineup. It's quite another to have young guys that have a real high ceiling to their game. You know, they're talking about Charlie Coyle here as a is a dominant forward. Coyle, who came in the Brent Burns trade with San Jose. They're not real sure yet if he's a winger or a centerman. He hurt his knee earlier in the year, missed 11 games with it, and they say in camp he was flying. He's not quite back to 100% yet.
Spezza back at the point to Cowan. And Weirkosh's pass goes back in the corner. Stoner picks it up. And Niederreiter with it for Minnesota. Niederreiter had it taken away by Cowan. And Cowan fires it right back in. 20 shots on goal now for Ottawa. We're early in the second period. Remember, the Wild allow an average of 24 in a game this season. Now Cook wins that race to the puck. Knocked away by Spezza. Scandella uncorks that shot. Goes off the leg of Niederreiter and wide. And Weirkosh back with it for Ottawa. Sens playing their 800th franchise home game tonight. They'll hit the road at Detroit, at Carolina, at Washington after this. So they'll see their old friend Daniel Alfredsson again in Detroit. But in less than 2 weeks' time, they'll see him back here for the first time on December the 1st. The Sunday game we'll have for you here on TSN. Weirkosh for Neal. Chips out ahead. And Derek Grant, the Abbotsford, BC native, goes after it. Scandella takes it away. Looks across to Pominville, who can't chip it out. Back down low to Grant. And Derek Grant slides that back. Borowiecki, a long shot through the traffic. Harding makes the stop. And Scandella's clearing a tip. Knocked down by Neal. Now Minnesota sends it ahead. Spurgeon brings it in. Jared Spurgeon. Up in the corner by Borowiecki, throws him down hard. Spurgeon listed at 168 pounds, which would make him the lightest player in the league. And here's Spezza with it. Matt Zuccarello in New York is likely lighter than that, but the Rangers say he's 170. In comes Fontaine for Minnesota. Bumped off the puck by McCullough. And there's Danny Heatley on it. And Heatley back with it. To Brodin. Jonas Brodin scores! Long shot from the point by Jonas Brodin, and the game is tied at 2. And Danny Heatley draws an assist.
Well, good work in the corner. The Wild dig the puck out of the corner. It's Heatley who finds Brodin back at the point. And Brodin, who picked up his first point since returning from a fractured cheekbone last night, lost this one through the traffic as Fontaine and Heatley do a good job in the puck battle here. And watch it's just a little wrist shot from Brodin. It doesn't appear to be deflected. Anderson whiffs on it. And the Wild have worked their way back into a 2-2 tie on Jonas Brodin's goal.
Brodin was the youngest defenseman in the NHL last year and led all rookies in ice time at better than 23 a game.
Real effortless skater. He covers the ice really efficiently. He's smart, like most young Swedish defensemen that come to the NHL. Positionally, they have a real good grasp on what they're trying to get accomplished.
And Suter is back for it. Ryan Suter to Charlie Coyle. It bounces off his skate. There's the announcement of the Heatley assist. And now a hand pass called at center ice.
That's Justin Fontaine's first assist in the National Hockey League. He's got 6 goals. That's his first assist. He and Heatley on a line tonight. Here's the point shot. It comes through the traffic. It looks like it might have deflected off the Ottawa stick out at the top. Nonetheless, Anderson doesn't get a glove on this, and the struggles continue a little bit for Craig Anderson, who, along with Ben Bishop and Robin Lehner, had that Ottawa net barred down pretty good last year.
And everything the Sens did sprang from that. Tremendous goaltending in their first round series win against Montreal. But suddenly, they can't count on it. Bronziak a long shot. Anderson hangs on to that as Bronziak was looking for the rebound. Now some pushing and shoving breaks out. And look who's in the middle of it. Matt Cook knocks down Zach Smith.
probably be some matching minors here by the time they get this sorted out. Borowiecki and Brodziak will be heading to their respective penalty boxes.
While they sort this out, let's go to James Duffy for an update. So offsetting minor roughing penalties to Borowiecki and Brodziak. A collision of consonants in the penalty boxes tonight. And the shots are 21-9 in favor of Paul McLean's Ottawa Senators. Last night, in a 2-2 game, they had a goal disallowed for Kyle Turris that bounced off the skates of Nick Grossman. There was no clear look at whether the puck was in or not. And then Philadelphia scored 2 quick ones after that to take control of the game.
It's like Ottawa fell asleep for a shift and a half, and Timonen scored, and then 23 seconds later they gave up another one to Wayne Simmons, and like that the game was gone.
Suter up to Parise as the teams are 4-on-4. Here's Brodin with it. Jonas Brodin across to Suter. Looking for Parise. Koivu circling in front. And Turris picks up the loose puck, breaks Ottawa ahead as he finds MacArthur with the lead pass. MacArthur back to Turris. Turris in, stopped by Harding. And now the rebound goes to Carlson, sends it back in front. And it's all the way back down the ice. After a funny bounce in behind the Ottawa goal. And now skips away from MacArthur. Granlund taken down. MacArthur throws it back in front to Carlson. Erik Karlsson with Kyle Turris and Mark Methot. So Methot decides to change, and Parise picks up the loose puck. Rink wide he goes for Granlund. Michael Granlund trying to throw that back in front. Cowan blocked his passing angle, and Granlund gets it back. Looking for Spurgeon. Turris hooks that out and finds Karlsson. And Erik Karlsson peels back, allowing Ottawa to complete a change. Jared Cowan across the line. Trying to find Ryan, intercepted by Pominville. And back comes Minnesota. Pominville trying to find Coyle in front, and Zach Smith broke that up. 30 seconds to go in the 4-on-4. 2-2 the score here in the second period. Smith works his way in. Coyle takes it away. And Scandella goes back to Coyle. Now Smith back with it, was trying to find Bobby Ryan. Intercepted by Zucker. Zucker works in, backhand shot, stopped by Anderson. Jason Zucker, a high-end skater, gets 2 good chances there.
He's won a little bit in his early career. Gold medals at the 09 and 10 under-18 championships. A gold medal that Christmas at the World Junior Championships as well.
Now picked out and moved ahead by Justin Fontaine. Down low for Koivu, and Mikko Koivu with it. Throws it back to Fontaine. Heatley with it. And the puck loose in front, they score! And it's Danny Heatley who pokes it home to give Minnesota the lead.
A goal with 1.3 seconds left last night was Heatley's 3rd of the year. He gets an assist earlier in the period, and to the consternation of the fans here in Ottawa, he gets another one here. He just out-muscles Erik Karlsson to this puck on the side of the net. Karlsson's in good position. If he leans on his stick here, there's no way Heatley can score. That's poorly played by Karlsson. Equally poorly is played by Craig Anderson in the net, as Anderson gets over, but his legs are wide open. He doesn't have his stick flat to take that away, and Danny Heatley has given the Minnesota Wild the 3-2 lead.
Heatley been kind of a forgotten man in Minnesota. Under 15 minutes played in 9 consecutive games leading up to this. But a goal last night, and now a fight. Chris Neil dropping the gloves with Clayton Stoner. And Neil wearing a visor to protect an earlier cheek injury. game 8:01. Tangles with Clayton Stoner. The Minnesota Wild have taken the lead. Jonas Brodin and Danny Heatley have the Minnesota goal.
Gord, we talked about the backbone of the Senators last year was their excellent goaltending. This is last night in Philadelphia. Sean Couturier shoots this from the goal line. It hits the right knee of Robin Lehner, and it's in the net. The Senators are trailing the game again. And then there's tonight. Here's Erik Karlsson. He plays this, as Al Arbour would say, like Errol Flynn. And Karlsson waves over top of the puck. Danny Heatley makes it 3-2 Ottawa. Goaltending that they never got last year has hurt them 2 nights in a row.
Parise battling for it. Ray, you're going to have to explain in 2013 who Errol Flynn was.
Oh, he was a swordsman from the day, and he'd say, you're out there sword fighting. How about running into somebody? Every time he said it, we would just erupt in laughter, Gord, because most of us didn't know who he was either.
In 1993, you had no idea who Errol Flynn was. So Danny Heatley with the Minnesota goal. Not a popular announcement here in Ottawa. In the 4 years he played for the Senators, Heatley scored 108 times. In that period, only Alexander Ovechkin and Ilya Kovalchuk scored more goals in the league.
There's no question where Heatley's problems stem from, and it's his inability to get a step away from the defender to shoot the puck. He's got a world-class shot, always has had it. But when he slowed just a half a stride, he wasn't the speediest guy to lose that half stride. Now he's got to figure out where he can get to, where the open ice gets to.
In the corner, we got Nino Niederreiter taken down for Minnesota, and that's going to be a penalty to Ottawa's Mark Borowiecki.
Now, Borowiecki wants to close tight here. He's in good shape, but when he shoves him, when his arms extend, there's the official standing below the goal line. He gets a good look at it. If Borowiecki doesn't extend his arms and just pushes him in more with his legs, there's no penalty there. But because he jams him in with his arms, Niederreiter upper body hits the glass first. That's a minor penalty, and the Minnesota Wild, with their 5th rated power play, already has a power play goal, although they've given up a shorthanded goal. They get a chance to stretch the lead.
Minnesota can say it's 1-for-1, but Ottawa can say the same thing, shorthanded. Draw one back to Suter. Cross to Pominville, being harassed there by Condra. Parise, along with Koivu and Coyle, the forwards of the power play. Suter winds and fires. Anderson save, rebound, loses, but hit the goal post. Now knocked in by Koivu. Now did he kick that is the question. Koivu celebrating. The question is, did he propel that puck into the net with his skate? And the officials are already conferring. Francis Chiron talking with the linesman.
You saw the official say, I didn't see it. It's clearly off his skate. It's whether this is propelled into the net or not. This shot drops about 2 feet on Craig Anderson from the point, the Suter shot. It's a knuckleball, so he can't handle it. There's the first shot off the post by Parise, and it looks like Koivu's kicking the puck to his skate, from his skate rather to his stick, but he misses it. It doesn't hit anything else. They'll review this. There's the shot. You see dip and dive on Anderson, so he can't get a handle on it. Parise's hits the post. Man, it hits the butt end of Anderson's stick before it gets to Koivu. My guess is they'll disallow this, Gord, but in my NHL, that would count.
In your NHL, what wouldn't count?
If you throw it in the net. If the puck goes off your skate in any faction, I think it should count. I don't see the safety issue that I hear about, that there's somebody going to be lying in the goal crease. You're not going to have a guy trying to punt the puck into the net.
Right.
There's no time to do that. This is the play that is going to happen, and that would count. To me, that play would count.
The argument against the injury argument, Ray, is that you can kick the puck out of the crease. I mean, if players can kick the puck defensively, why can't you kick it offensively?
I don't know. I mean, I can't even other than the injury thing, I don't buy it, but that's the reason.
On video review, the puck was kicked into the net, therefore no goal.
Under the current rules, it's the right call. I don't think there's any question that Koivu was kicking the puck. I believe he's kicking the puck to his stick and he wants to tap it in. However, he doesn't get a stick on it and it goes directly into the net.
But in the AHL, that would count.
It would be 4-2.
So 1:45 to go in the power play. The faceoff will come outside. And Chiron giving the explanation to Minnesota coach Mike Yeo. And that long review allows Yeo to keep his top power play unit on the ice. As Koivu wins the draw back for Suter. Snaps it rink wide for Pominville.
Did you think Suter was going to come off the ice anyway?
Well, not him, but... Kick back out in front. MacArthur's got it shorthanded. Away with Turris. Between the legs again. Nope, in with a shot on goal off the leg of Pominville and wide.
It's a clever play, though, by MacArthur. He looked at the defense and he went and attacked the forward who was back there, and Jason Pominville didn't get over on the side of the ice with Ryan Suter.
Shots are 22-12 in favor of Ottawa. In a 3-2 game. In comes Suter leading the rush. That's kicked away by Anderson. Koivu backs him up at the point. Hard pass across, but it draws Pominville out. And slammed back down in the Minnesota zone by Mark Mathot. Pominville for Koivu. 45 seconds to go in this Minnesota power play. Anderson for Carlson with some time. Turns it over to Granlund. Sends it back in front. Niederreiter couldn't find it. Now Nino Niederreiter sends that back in front. Just missed Granlund. All this off a Carlson turnover. And now Spezza moves ahead shorthanded. One-on-one with Brodin. Shoots off the side of the goal as Harding got just a piece of that. 20 seconds to go on the power play. And Cowan settles things down for the Senators. Condra looking for Spezza. Couldn't reach that. Granlund pokes it ahead to Heatley. Danny Heatley across the line. Shovels that across to Granlund. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Heatley to Granlund. Back to Heatley. Borowiecki steps back on the ice for Ottawa. The centering pass bounces down in front. And Grant has it for Ottawa. 3-on-2. Condra to Grant. Sends it back in front. Grant taken down by Spurgeon. And the crowd hovering for a penalty there. Instead, they got an icing call against the Wild.
Gord, you mentioned that Jared Spurgeon's 168 pounds. That even might be a little generous for him. But if you're this light, you have to defend with your head and you have to be strong on your stick. He gets his stick over top of Eric Condra's stick. Condra wants an interference penalty, but Spurgeon's got pretty good position. He's a real good skater, and he has to be to make up for what is almost on every play a size disadvantage that he deals with.
Brodin off the glass, held by Bobby Ryan on the line, and Heatley comes back to pick it up. Brodin to Spurgeon, trying to find Niederreiter. And the bouncing puck goes back to Wiercach as Minnesota was changing. Ryan chips that down, gloved by Harding. And he'll hang on to that with 10:08 to go in the second period.
Well, the game settled down a little bit for Josh Harding, who was peppered in the first period with 18 shots. Just had 5 halfway through this second period as Minnesota's become a little more stingy. The Senators having a little trouble finding some room, and more importantly, probably less time in the Minnesota zone, which has really been a difference as I see in the first 10 minutes of this period to the first 20 minutes of this hockey game.
Cook takes a hack at that, and it's tapped out by Brodziak. Cook signed to a 3-year contract as an unrestricted free agent in the summer by the Wild. Of course, they traded Cal Clutterbuck to the Islanders, so they're looking for some sandpaper and some penalty killing, which Cook can provide. Now the loose puck. And a chance for Brodziak, stopped by Anderson, and there'll be no rebound as Brodziak took a whack at him. Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey returns to Ottawa right after this. Tonight's player profile is brought to you by Scotiabank, and in the Wednesday Night Spotlight is El Nino Niederreiter.
Wanted an opportunity to play, was totally disgruntled in Long Island where he felt he deserved a call up last year. hard to believe how young he is and how a player can feel so slighted. But in any case, the Islanders and he had a divorce, basically, and they had to move him. So they move him for Clutterbuck. He gets an opportunity here in Minnesota, and for the Wild, really, it was a no-brainer to make that deal. You get a top 5 pick from a couple of years prior, who's already been through a couple of years of pro hockey, and you get him when he's just starting to blossom.
A 40-goal scorer in the Western Hockey League with the Portland Winterhawks.
Him and Sven Berchi were dynamite with the Winterhawks.
Parise plays that back to Scandella. And now Mathot steps in front of that pass and moves that through the middle for Carlson. Up for MacArthur. Clark MacArthur sends it back in front. The pass in behind Kyle Turris. Now Turris had his stick knocked out of his hands by Scandella and hustles back to the Ottawa bench. And now lifted in the air by Scandella back to the Ottawa zone where Carlson is back to pick it up. Throws that long pass for Zach Smith. To Bobby Ryan. Ryan sends it back in front. And one guy we're not seeing a lot of tonight, Ray, despite scoring a goal, is Zibanejad, who has 3 minutes and 17 seconds of ice time so far in the game. Now on the ice, takes that pass. Remember, he got called up on an emergency basis last year from Binghamton. Was the first star that night, and Paul McLean said, well, when you're the first star, you get to play again. He spent most of the rest of the season up with Ottawa. Brodziak sends it back in front for Cook. That's knocked away. And at the line, Brodin keeps it alive for Minnesota. Throws it down to Brodziak. Back to Brodin with a shot. That was tipped high and wide by Cook. And the puck is off the meshing and out of play.
On the Heatley goal, we showed the mistake of Erik Karlsson. This is what Karlsson can do with the puck. Look at him going behind the net. The Wild expected he's going to go behind to start the breakout. He turns it up the short side and finds Zach Smith up the middle of the ice. And before the Wild can get into position, the Senators are out of their zone.
Leads all defensemen in points once again this year with 21 in 21 games. Youngest player to win the Norris Trophy is the NHL's top defenseman since Bobby Orr. Anytime you and Bobby Orr are in the same sentence, things are going well.
A pretty small group.
Yes. Pominville sends that across, knocked in by Stoner, and now Granlund looking for it. But Phillips pivots away, finds McCulloch, but Pominville jumped up to take that away for Granlund. Drops it down to Zucker. He's taken down by McCulloch. Back to his feet. He plays it back for Suter. Ryan Suter, long shot, whistled that wide. And Spezza moves ahead along with Greening. Spezza in across the line, pulls it around Scandella, try to drop it back. And Spezza stays on the puck and throws it back down to McCulloch. 7 to go in the second period. Wild lead 3-2. Granlund pokes it free for Scandella. Now flipped back down the ice by Zucker. Patrick Wierkosh, long lead pass for Grant, tries to chip that ahead for Condra, knocked away by Suter. And now a foot race between Cowan and Heatley. And Jared Cowan gets there first, but Heatley fishes the puck away from him. Throws it back in front. Anderson made a sharp angle save on Zdeno Konopka, the former Ottawa Senator and Ottawa 67. But another nifty hands play by Danny Heatley. Dumba up ahead to Heatley. He finds Konopka. Konopka back for Dumba. Pounds it off the inboards, out the other side. Fontaine can't reach it. And Konopka lays it back down to the Ottawa zone as Minnesota makes a change. Lead pass for Smith, knocked away. Here's Parise with it. Trying to find Coyle. Erik Karlsson to Wierkosh to Smith, and quickly Ottawa's away. Conacher works in, whistles that shot again. Harding has trouble squeezing it. But Coyle brings it ahead along with Koivu. Koivu swats that down to the Ottawa zone. Coyle steps into Borowiecki. And Charlie Coyle battling for it, and out the other side with Thought. Away from Parise, and Conacher has it. Conacher fans on the shoot-in that puts Smith offside. And play call with 5:26 to go in the second period. And Minnesota with a 1-goal lead.
A couple interesting moments for both goaltenders. Jason Spezza gives Harding a little tap on the back of the ankle. He gets him in the unprotected part of his leg. And then Craig Anderson almost gets caught a little bit asleep here. Heatley takes the puck from Cowan, and this is a sharp angle shot that Konopka takes. Anderson standing straight up. He's able to squeeze his pads to make his 11th save.
And Ottawa with 24 shots now. That's as many as Minnesota on average allows in a game. Niederreiter brings it ahead for the Wild. Minnesota lost in the first round of the playoffs last year to Chicago as Brodziak walks in, gets a shot away on Anderson. That first game went to overtime. Wild won game 3 in OT. But the soon-to-be Stanley Cup champions steamrolled them for most of that series. Now Greening gathers that up, along with McCulloch and Spezza. And Greening drops it back to McCulloch with a drive, and that's knocked away with the blocker of Harding. Scandella for Spurgeon. Up ahead for Zucker. He was poked back, and Zucker slammed to the sideboards there by Smith. 4.5 to go in the second. And Scandella snaps that pass ahead. It bounces to Pominville. In comes Pominville. Zucker plays it across. The pass in behind Michael Granlund.
Oh, that's where he's got to be more selfish. He's in that spot. Shoot the puck. Let Granlund go for the rebound.
Vanacek drops. Smith fires. Glove saved by Harding.
That's a good time for his glove to come alive. Harding's had some trouble with the trapper tonight. The puck's bounced on him 4 or 5 times. Not there. He's hung in real well. Marty Biron was talking about in the studio about the mental strength to play back-to-back nights. Harding bounces back after a pull last night. A shaky start to this game with the puck bouncing on him a bit, and there he makes a real sharp glove stop.
And with Backstrom out, the pull might have been as much to do with having to play again tonight as what was happening last night against Montreal. Here's Parise with a drive and a glove saved by Craig Anderson, and he'll hang on.
Really actually like the simplicity of the stop for Anderson. It's not been a very smooth start to the year for him, and Parise, who loves to shoot the puck, takes this opportunity to unleash it. And there's Anderson, top of the blue paint, glove stop, real economy of movement to the save. He's had a couple this period that he'd probably like back, even the ones that he stopped where it's been a little bit of a scramble for him in the Ottawa net.
Led the NHL in goals against average and save percentage last season, in a year in which he missed 18 games to injury.
That's another thing, Gord, with last year with all the injuries that the Senators had, they really forged this identity as a backbone of their team being their goal and how hard they played and physically they played. This year, they've just missed 15 games to injury. They've had their guys in the lineup for the most part. They just haven't been able to get it done, and Paul McLean talked about way too much time in their zone, way too many turnovers in their zone, and as a result, they give up goals or take penalties, and they don't have any consistency to their game, and I think we've seen it in those 2 periods tonight. A real good first period, and a turnover-laden, mistake-prone second period for them.
The Thoughts pass goes off the leg of Charlie Coyle. And now Carlson spins back. And Kyle Turris comes back to settle things down for Ottawa. Throws it ahead to Mark Method. Lead pass to Bobby Ryan, rookie, and Bobby Ryan tries to pull that around Suter. And Suter snuffs out that chance. Long shot by MacArthur goes off a leg and wide. And there's 3 to go now in the second. Ryan spins off Suter. And the puck moves to the side of the Minnesota goal as Turris picks it up. Kyle Turris throws that softly back in front. And Brodin knocks it down to Suter. His pass misses Parise. And that'll be icing called against the Wild. And that comes at an inopportune time for Minnesota, which was desperate for a change at that point.
Mike Yeo just asked Mikko Koivu if they want to take a timeout. He said no, they don't need it. The draw will be in that right-hand corner. Koivu and Spezza will take the draw.
And Spezza wins that scramble drop. Back to Cowan and McCulloch, a sharp angle drive off the leg of Greening. Lifts that way up in the air, but far enough that the Wild can at least start the change. Cowan. Pass in the middle, a hard one for Spezza. And Spezza drops it back to Greening. His shot flutters down in front, knocked down by Spurgeon. And away come the Wild as Spurgeon leads the rush. Edmondson throws it around. And Spezza with it. Trying to throw that across. The pass hit the skate of Minnesota's Justin Fontaine, and Harding leaves it there for Spurgeon. Fontaine to Scandella. Takes the return pass. Granlund works his way in. Whistles that wide. Now Fontaine tries to throw that on goal from down low. And Anderson blocks that on his left post. Well, Sunday, it's the 101st Grey Cup. The countdown begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Get ready for the 101st Grey Cup game between the Ticats and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. All the action live on TSN, the home of the Grey Cup game. First meeting between those two since the Classic in 1989 in Toronto. Glenn Suter hasn't let us forget that he held for the game-winning field goal by Dave Ridgway. They've tried to replace the holder with a machine, but thus far they haven't been able to convince Suter that would be a good idea. In comes Ottawa. Grant walks in and fires. Harding to save. Rebound. Chris Neal digging for it, and Josh Harding gave up a gravy bounce, but is able to squeeze the second try by Ottawa.
Quick chance in the neutral zone, and Derek Grant, who's played in his 15th straight game since he was recalled, takes a nice little chip from Eric Condra. This shot is punted out into the middle of the ice by Harding, and you're right, Neal's got the clean chance at the puck, but he's not able to get a real solid whack on it. The puck actually sits on top of the pads of Josh Harding. That's a real good shot from Grant. He released it quickly, forced Harding into the save rather, and Neal wasn't able to do much with it.
29-16, the shots on goal in favor of Ottawa, but the Sens trail 3-2. We've got a penalty called, a high sticking call right off the face-off, and Derek Grant is going off for Ottawa.
And Derek Grant got his stick up. He was trying to lift the stick of Jonas Brodin. This is going to be a 2-minute minor, and Grant missed Brodin's stick, and his own stick came up into the mouth of Brodin. Grant just trying to get to the loose puck. It's going to be the second opportunity here when Brodin gets the puck and Grant lifts it, and his own stick clips the mouth and visor of Jonas Brodin. Brodin just back to a half shield after wearing a full bubble for a few weeks after returning from a broken cheekbone. They're checking his teeth, they're all there.
Now at the line, Suter couldn't hold it, so a late power play for Minnesota. Zach Smith shorthanded, causing the Wild some problems, and Suter picks it out. The watershed day for this Wild franchise, early July of 2012, when Ryan Suter and Zach Parise made their decision together to leave their respective teams and join the Wild. And a chance now for the Ottawa Senators, shorthanded. In comes Zach Smith, walks in and shoots at the goal post. Rang it off the post. Smith with a terrific chance there. Pominville broke his stick, but Minnesota settles things down, and Suter picks up the loose puck. Another great shorthanded chance for Ottawa. In comes Koivu to Parise. Pominville steps up. Keeps it alive as MacArthur couldn't knock it up. Parise back in front. His pass knocked away by Mathai. Here's Pominville with it. Mason Pominville throws out to Koivu. Sprawling plays it for Pominville. Back to Koivu. MacArthur intercepts that pass, finds Turris. Final seconds now, the period. Turris works in shorthanded. Drops it back. MacArthur fires. Kicked away by Harding. And 36 seconds of power play time will carry over into the third period. But it's the Ottawa Senators who have the best chance shorthanded as Smith hits the goalpost with that opportunity. 3-2 the score of the Wild after 40 minutes of play as we send you to James Duthie, the panel, and our second intermission. And Ray, what Paul McLean told us before this game is what he's been saying so far this season. Somehow Ottawa's got to find a way to stop giving the puck away.
Well, a lot of times it's just making a much more simple decision with the puck than they have. At other times it's you lose the puck battle. So their focus was not turning the puck over. This is the first shift of the game. They turn it over and it leads to 2 scoring chances. Later, Zach Smith forces a puck here. He's just got to go around the boards. But after that, they really settled in. They played about 20 minutes of really good hockey. Then they lose this puck battle here. Fontaine and Heatley win the battle from Phillips and McCulloch. And Brodin's shot wafts its way through and beats Craig Anderson. Here's another puck battle they lose. Pretty simple play, not much going on. Erik Karlsson's got the puck to clear it away. He doesn't. He gets out-muscled to it and out-wanted to it by Heatley. And in 2 plays, the Senators now trail. Now they have to find their way to fight their way back into the game, although they almost scored shorthanded again at the end of that period.
In a game, Ray, that's really been upside down. Minnesota allows fewer shots than any team in the league, but Ottawa's got 30 through 2 periods. Minnesota had gone longer than any team without allowing a shorthanded goal, but the Wild have given up one in this one. An odd night. Minnesota begins with a power play. Suter with a shot. The rebound drops down in front. Borowiecki can't clear it out. Coyle to Pominville. To Koivu. Down to Parise with a shot through the crease, and Anderson turns that away. Now Pominville fires. Anderson the save. And 3 quick chances for the Wild in the power play. Finally, Chris Phillips fires it down the ice.
And the other challenge for the Senators here, the Wild, they were 11-0-3 when they've led after 2 periods.
That's one thing that hasn't changed from the Lemaire days. As Granlund works in and gets low bridge by Marc Methot.
That is a great hit by Marc Methot. He's not too low. He catches him hip on hip. Hip on hip. Beautiful execution on that check.
Right out of the hip check manual. He sent Granlund flying. Now a rink-wide pass for Zucker. Jumping it across the line, Methot pats it down. Zucker back on it. And Karlsson looks through the middle for Smith. Up for Conacher. Zibanejad's on this line for Ottawa. Only 5.5 minutes played for Zibanejad through the first 2 periods. He has a goal in the game. And Brodziak brings it ahead for the Wild. And here comes Brodziak with a chance, and that's off a stick, up and out of play.
Oftentimes the hip check will be along the boards. It's a safer hit. So much of the hit is timing. And look how well timed this is by Methot. He waits till Granlund pulls it forehand to backhand. He's not too low. He catches Granlund on the hip. And it's a gorgeous hit.
To some generations that would remind them of Bobby Bond. To others, Kurt Giles, former Minnesota North Star, was a leading practitioner.
Kurt Giles was a menace to society when he was on the ice. He was little, he was an excellent skater, and he'd get you low. There were some guys that got airborne in a hurry from Kurt Giles' hip checks.
Now Koivu across the line, the long shot steered away by Anderson. And the Wild with a 1-goal lead, desperately trying to protect it in that crazy Western Conference playoff race. As MacArthur brings it ahead for Ottawa, drops it off for Karlsson. That bounces away from him. And now it bounces down beside the goal. Spurgeon on his backhand with a tough play, gets it ahead, and Parise knocks it out. Minnesota with 30 points would lead either division in the Eastern Conference. As it stands, they hold the last wild card spot in the West. Well, TSN's your home for Barclays Premier League Soccer. Up to 5 matches a week on TSN, TSN2, and TSN.ca. This week, first place Arsenal takes on surprising third place Southampton. Live coverage underway at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on TSN2.
The Senators are going to get back in this game. They could use something out of this group here. Jason Spezza had a terrific start to the game. I don't know that you've mentioned McCulloch's name more than once or twice. Scored just a real dozy first half or first quarter of the season for McCulloch with just 3 goals.
And none in his last 9.
He's just not around the puck enough, not around the net. It's a real chore for him to get shots on net.
And here's McCulloch with it. He and Healy on the ice together. Of course, they were the centerpieces of that trade between Ottawa and San Jose. Brodziak centers. Heatley taps it back. Chance in front for Fontaine. Can't get a shot away. And the puck's still loose. And we've got a penalty coming to the Ottawa Senators, I believe. No, it's Heatley will go off. Ottawa had possession. And the fans are like this.
Senators turn the puck over again just by the blue line. Now it comes back to the front of the net. That's the hooking penalty on Heatley. So Ottawa's power play will get an opportunity to tie the game.
Turris, Ryan, MacArthur up front, Mathot and Carlson on the back end. Koivu to take the draw for Minnesota. And the draw won by Ottawa. Minnesota, the number 2 face-off team in the league. Ottawa has won 57% of the draws 3-2.
The Senators had experimented with 4 forwards on the power play on this unit. They've gone away from that.
High in the air. And Harding elected not to freeze the puck. Now MacArthur on it. Lost the puck to Brodziak. And Brodziak away along with Cook. Kyle Turris settles things down. Bobby Ryan, Jason Spezza lead the Senators with 3 power play goals apiece. In comes Turris with it. Kyle Turris with a head of steam. Weirkash for Carlson. Bobby Ryan standing in front. Carlson swings that rink wide for Spezza. Down to Ryan, spins and shoots, and Harding gets a piece of that to knock it wide. Now Spezza throws it back in front. Harding bats that away and fired down the ice by Ryan Suter.
He doesn't get that out of the air. Bobby Ryan standing all by himself in front of the net.
45 seconds to go on the power play. Lead pass for Colin Greening. Scandella knocked that away. And now Spurgeon races to it, chips it neatly to the sideboards to Granlund, and he'll fire it down. .30 seconds to go on the power play. Carlson up for Spezza. And that shot was way wide, off the glass and all the way down the ice. No shots on goal thus far for Ottawa on this power play.
That's just a bad decision by Spezza to shoot the puck from there. Now they got to go back and get it again. Now they can reload. Get it set up.
In comes McCulloch. He's stripped, and Charlie Coyle brings it ahead as Heatley is up in the penalty box, and the Ottawa power play is over.
Maybe that's why Spezza shot it. They haven't won a puck battle on that last 2-minute power play. I mean, your power play, you can talk about skill and pucks to the net, but if you don't win the battle to get the puck, you never get set up. You don't spend any time in the zone. It's beyond elementary. That's about hard work. The rest of it's about skill.
And Minnesota's penalty killing rather has been poor. 25th in the league. They've already allowed as many power play goals this year as they did all of last. Zach Smith drops it back. Shot by not Harding to save. Loose puck. Harding couldn't find it. Now he squeezes that, and they've got a face-off with 5:44 gone in the third.
Well, Harding doesn't have a great feel for where this puck is. It comes into the slot for Zibanejad, and he's going to one-time the puck, but it gets deflected right when he shoots it here, and he can't find it. He's got no stick. He's got to fight for the puck. He's going to battle for it here through the traffic. A Conacher in front, and he sees Zibanejad go around the back in case the puck's sitting there, but Harding was able to squeeze it.
Off the draw, Heatley pokes that ahead to Justin Fontaine, the native of Bonnyville, Alberta. He was signed as a college free agent out of Minnesota Duluth in 2011. Matt Dumba back for it. Being hemmed in there by Grant. And now the puck free to Neal, to Grant. Drops it back to Phillips, a long shot. That goes wide, and again, Harding was screened, this time by Neal. Condra got to tap that across for Neal. Dumba intercepts. And Matt Dumba goes ahead to Fontaine. Slaps that down in the Ottawa zone and goes off on a chain. 32-21, the shots on goal for Ottawa. 3-2, Minnesota lead. And Parise knocks down that pass to Coyle. Charlie Coyle shoots up by Anderson, who makes the stop. Conacher laid that to Smith. Up ahead to Borowiecki, and he gets called to the Ottawa bench. Now Conacher picks it out. Throws it back in front. Coyle intercepts for Minnesota and chips it ahead for Parise. Mathot spins away from Parise. Carlson steps away from Niederreiter. Erik Karlsson fires that down as racing back for it is Jonas Brodin. Nifty pass ahead for Niederreiter. Chips it by Karlsson, and hustling back is Conacher, being lined up there by Cook. Now Zibanejad taking a regular shift in the third period. Throws it down to Karlsson. And the puck loose behind the Ottawa goal as Mathot picks it up. Hard pass ahead to Smith. To Conacher. Suter thwarts that rush. And Brodin throws that ahead. Kyle Turris to Bobby Ryan. In comes Ryan with a chance. And Bobby Ryan, a wraparound try. That's knocked away by Harding. Bobby Ryan without a shot for the first two periods of this game. And Wierkosh ahead to Ryan. Fires it down to the Minnesota zone. Harding with it. Cross to Scandella and chipped just out by Pominville. MacArthur being watched by his former Buffalo teammate Pominville. And Cowan's long pass knocked down by Spurgeon. In comes Granlund with it. Drops it off for Pominville. He overstepped the puck. Then got a hook on Turris. And back comes Ottawa. Penalty coming. Ryan in. Shoots it to the post. Bobby Ryan rings it off the iron. But the Ottawa Senators are going to the power play as Jason Pominville will go off for the hook. Bobby Ryan came this close to tying it at 3.
It's not like the Senators haven't been close. Zach Smith at the end of the second period, shorthanded, hits the goal post on Harding's glove side. There's Bobby Ryan moments ago off the glove side. Again, up over the glove off the crossbar. The Senators another power play with a chance to tie.
Hooking call against Jason Pominville. So Greening takes the draw. McCulloch and Spets out there as well. Minnesota gains possession. Spurgeon with a tough backhand play off the glass into the penalty box, and another faceoff coming in the Minnesota zone.
So easy to say when you lose the battle, sometimes you just got to forget the puck, but Pominville wants to get back into the play. He hooks Turris. It's clearly a hooking penalty, a poor decision by Pominville, and the Wild are now are down a man again as they try to preserve the lead.
Karlsson feeds that across. Here's Spezza with it.
So here's the four forwards they've switched.
And Zibanejad fires, knocked down by score! McCulloch, and the game is tied!
An adjustment by Paul McLean to get four forwards on the power play to get Mathot off this unit. Instead have Zibanejad on the point. Zibanejad unloads this. This shot is blocked by Scandella. But there's Milan McCulloch. We talked about how his play tonight has been rather ghostly. At an important time, it's McCulloch on the rebound. Harding has no chance. And before Spurgeon can get to the loose puck, McCulloch has evened the score.
19th power play goal allowed by the Wild this year for the team that led the league in the lockout shortened season with only 18 power play goals against.
They take advantage of a poor penalty by Pominville, a bad decision as we talked about, and the Senators take advantage. Each team's got a power play goal tonight. The Senators have a shorty as well.
And the teams have not been more than a goal apart at any point tonight. In comes Condra. Long shot. Harding got a piece of that. Mentioned Ottawa has won the last 6 meetings between these two. And they have played each other infrequently over the years. As Suter throws that ahead for Granlund. Up to Pominville, trying to find Zucker, but Borowiecki stepped into Pominville. And a leaping Clayton Stoner can't knock it down as Dumba goes back and the crowd's back into it in Ottawa. In comes Matt Dumba, fires, and Anderson got just a piece of that to knock it away. Charlie Coyle loose down low, walks out in front. Puck rolled off his stick, he kicks it back in front. Intercepted by Turris. And Turris just missed MacArthur with that lead pass. Coyle, bottled up by MacArthur, gets a second try and throws that to Parise. 9.5 to go in the third period. Koivu with it. Has his pass knocked down by Corey Conacher. Throws that ahead for Smith. And now knocked down by Suter. Cook chips that to the middle of the ice with the pass by Niederreiter, knocked down by Smith and played back down in the Minnesota zone. Go on. In comes Cook across the line along with Niederreiter. Cook shoots. That's off a stick and wide. Right back to Brodziak. Spins and shoots it away wide. Jumping up is Brodin. Now Cook trying to knock that in front. Conacher took it away. And Niederreiter takes down Zach Smith in the corner. And Niederreiter, who was on the receiving end of one of those hits earlier, then gets knocked down by Smith. Bowling for dollars in behind the Ottawa goal. And Cook steps up on it. Being harassed there by Weirkox. The puck through the advantage at. And now Weirkox with it. Fires that down in the Minnesota zone. End of a long shift for the Ottawa group. And the Sens will change. Now Heatley chips that down to the Sens zone. Konopka gets there first for Minnesota. Heatley back on it. Centering pass knocked astray. McCulloch up ahead for Greening. Derek Carlson jumping in. Carlson shoots. That's blocked. And Fontaine knocks that to the line and out. A late offside coming to Ottawa. 8:03 to go in the third period. Milan McCulloch with his first goal in his last 10 games. It's a big one to tie it up at 3.
In the 800th home game in the Ottawa Senators history, Chris Neil is playing his 800th game in the National Hockey League, discussing stick handling there with Zenon Konopka. Neil's not had an easy 800 games. He's played a physical brand of hockey. He's been their tough guy for the better part of a decade. He plays hard minutes for them. They gave him a little tribute on the board, a well-earned 800 games for Chris Neil.
For a 6th-round pick back in 1998. There were 160 players picked ahead of him in that NHL draft. Jonas Brodin to Granlund. Throws that down to Pominville. Now Zucker looks for Granlund. That's knocked away from him by Spezza. And Greening chips that for Spezza, who's got some repair work done to his nose after an errant stick or puck struck him. And Brodin picks it up behind the goal. Gets away from Spezza and chips it there for Suter. Now knocked down by McCulloch. Here he comes. A backhand shot stopped by Harding, who bats at the rebound. And Zucker fires that down the ice. And that'll be an icing call against the Wild. Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Scotiabank. You're richer than you think. Lord Miller, Ray Ferraro, Brent Wallace, and the TSN production crew here in Ottawa on this Wednesday night.
Actually, Chris Neil's 801st game, Gordon. He played his 800th last night in their loss.
So it's 801 the hard way.
Not going to get any easier for him. There's no roses in his game.
From here, we'll go to another national capital, Washington, for the Canadians and the Capitals on Friday night. Lead pass to MacArthur, who had that electrifying short-handed assist to Turris in the first period. Now Turris centers it, and Ryan tapped it wide. Ryan throws that wildly through the crease, and Scandella bodies MacArthur and plays it ahead to Cook. Cook centering pass knocked away by Carlson. They collided behind the Ottawa goal. And Carlson skates away from Cook. Throws it ahead neatly to Ryan. Ryan works in front. The toe drag didn't work out. And Niederreiter flips that way up in the air.
What a pass by Carlson. He hung on to it to the last moment. Then it was a rocket right on the tape.
Now kept alive by Smith, but out the other side comes Charlie Coyle. Along with Parise and Koivu. Coyle in, shoots, Anderson save, rebound, loose in front. It bounced by Parise. And Smith works ahead with Zibanejad and Conacher. Corey Conacher gloves it down. His pass across, knocked down by Stoner, but Smith plays it back to Weirkosh. A long shot. Harding got the glove on it again. Couldn't squeeze it. Smith shoots. Blocked in front. Harding still down. The puck loose. And Zibanejad couldn't pull the trigger. But yet again, Josh Harding with trouble with the glove hand.
Looks like he's got an eject button in the middle of that thing. He has really struggled tonight catching the puck. Just made one or two real clean glove saves.
Parise knocked off the puck by Cowan. And now Brodin steps up for Minnesota to Parise. Zach Parise shields off Cowan. Shots are now 37-24 Ottawa. Just the second time this year that Minnesota has allowed 35 or more shots in a game. By contrast, Ottawa's done it 10 times. Neal was knocked down by Brodin in front of the Ottawa bench. And at the line, Granlund kept it alive for a moment. Now Carlson steps up. Erik Karlsson pulls that around Granlund. Here comes Erik Karlsson across the line. Throws that in front off the stick of Stoner. It goes up and out of play. 3-3 the score with 4:40 to go in the third period on Scotiabank. Wednesday Night Hockey. The performer of the game is brought to you by GMC Sierra.
You don't have to play a lot of minutes to make an impact. Just 5.5 minutes in the first two periods for Mika Zibanejad. It results in this goal, a wonderful effort in front of Josh Harding. He's played 5 minutes in the third period, including this appearance on the power play. He gets an assist on the tying goal of Milan Michalek. The performer of the game for GMC is Mika Zibanejad.
Now on the face-off, the puck controlled by Ottawa's Carlson does a great job to hook that down to Michalek. Battling with Granlund, and now Suter bounces that down the ice, and that'll be an icing call against the Wild. So the Zibanejad line tonight for Ottawa shows a goal and an assist, 10.5 minutes. Danny Heatley also has a goal and assist for Minnesota. Zibanejad spent the first 3 weeks of this season with Binghamton of the American Hockey League. One of a handful of players who can claim a golden goal in international hockey. Scored the overtime winner in the gold medal game of the World Junior Championship in 2012 for Team Sweden in Calgary. In comes Granlund across the line for Heatley. Danny Heatley, nifty move, walks in, and the shooting attempt rolled in behind the goal. Now back at the line, Ryan Suter was in deep. It bounces by him and back out to center ice. Ryan Suter on track for another 30-minute night on the blue line for Minnesota.
Heatley getting a shift here with Granlund and Pominville late in the third period.
In comes Pominville and drive. He hammered that wide. And Heatley down to Pominville, a wraparound try. And here's Granlund with it. Trying to go the other way, but Spezza got a stick on him. And quickly the other way comes MacArthur along with Spezza. Jason Spezza holds it. Flips it in front. McCulloch couldn't get a shot away. And now MacArthur taps it back to Phillips. His quick shot was blocked. Back down to Spezza. for Phillips. 3.5 to go in the third period. And Granlund got just enough of that to flip it up to center ice and allow the Wild to change. Chipped in by MacArthur, and Harding leaves it there for Scandella. To Coyle, to Parise. Rink wide to Koivu. In comes Minnesota on the attack. Mikko Koivu in, shoots, scores! Mikko Koivu snaps it by Anderson, and the Wild are back in front.
This is gorgeous puck movement by the Minnesota Wild. Right from when Josh Harding gets the puck behind the Wild net, he tees it up to the defenseman and gives it to him with room to move the puck. Coyle chips it off the boards. Parise across to Koivu. Look at Spurgeon drive the middle. That backs off Mathot. Much too soft though. Bobby Ryan and Kyle Turris coming back in the middle of the ice. The two of them are looking at the puck, but nobody gets their stick there. Koivu drives into the middle and beats Craig Anderson up over the blocker. For Koivu, it's his 5th of the season. Under 3 minutes left. It's a beauty in the Wild lead. Excellent puck movement by the Wild.
Back in front again by a goal with 2:57 to go. Turris had that knocked away by Koivu as Coyle knocks it back. Scandella to Koivu. And the Wild captain fires it in. Anderson for Carlson. Now Turris steps around Cook. And around Brodziak. Across the line he goes. The pass too far from MacArthur. Brodin backhands that out neatly. And Ryan Suter likely to play these final 2:22 as the play is offside at the Minnesota line.
There's Mark Mathot, who was on the ice for that last goal. Watch his stick as he swings his stick back to deflect the shot. It's going to deflect off the shaft of the shot of his stick there, and beats Craig Anderson up over the blocker. A beautiful catch and shot by Mikko Koivu, aided on the deflection by the stick of Mark Mathot.
37-25, Ottawa out shooting Minnesota. And Ottawa once again chasing the game down a goal. Zibanejad out there with Smith and Conacher. At the line, here's Cowan. Long shot off the leg of Cook. Under 2 to go now in the third. Zach Smith down low, steps away from Brodin. Here's Cowan. Across to Weirkoch. Long shot, hits some pants in front, goes wide. Conacher taken down. And Suter to the line and out. Now flipped down in front, a rolling puck, swept away by Suter.
Hey, Kelly!
Seventh time this year, Craig Anderson's allowed 4 or more goals in the game. Only happened to him twice last season. Brodziak throws it down, and icing waved off. Scooped up now by Spezza as Anderson looks at the bench for direction, but Scandella intercepts and fires it right back down. Now Phillips steps up. Into the final minute now of the third. Spezza stripped, and Anderson once again has to retreat. Ottawa can't get out. Carlson with it now. As Anderson makes his way to the Ottawa bench, Carlson works that in. Scandella intercepts the extra skaters on. It's Zibanejad. Bouncing puck, Koivu to the line and out. Sends that back down to the Ottawa zone. Carlson to Greening. Across to Zibanejad. 25 seconds to go in the third. And once again, the puck is off the boards and out. Carlson to Weirkoch. Under 20 seconds to go. Lead pass to Greening. Sends it rink wide to Spezza. Throws it back, shot by Carlson. Pinballs in front and goes wide. Now Spurgeon on it, rattles it off the glass to the line and out. And with 3.8 seconds left, the face-off will happen outside the Minnesota line.
In no time were the Ottawa Senators able to get set up in the Minnesota zone with the extra attacker. Their shots were deflected in front of the net. They couldn't get the puck from the blue line through. And as Weirkoch tries to save this puck, and you see the linesman sitting right over top of it. The puck bounces out. Ottawa takes a timeout, looking for a miracle play here with 3.8 seconds remaining in the third period.
Trying to avoid a third consecutive loss. And next week on Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey, the Toronto Maple Leafs will take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sidney Crosby has a goal tonight. And it's the Blackhawks and the Flames in the second half of our doubleheader at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Talking to Mike Yeo before the game, Ray, every coach in the West talks about how impossible that race seems. Is it really possible that the last playoff spot will need 105 points to grab it? That's the pace right now. Now, teams will start playing each other, but the Wild, after a loss last night, needed to bounce back. They do tonight with a 4-3 win thanks to the goal from Mikko Koivu late in the third period to send the Wild to the win, and the Ottawa Senators have dropped 3 in a row. For Ray Ferraro and Brent Wallace, I'm Gordon Miller. This has been a presentation of TSN, Canada's sports leader. Now stand by for SportsCenter. Here is Corey Warren.